Dragons versus White Walkers.
Oh, fuck.
My gosh, look at how many people are there. Hurry up, dragons.
Fall back!
Fall back where? Well, John, not the best idea you've ever had. At least John will have more allies on his side. Convinced that this is the war to fight, if and when they get out of this predicament. Danny's dragons are going to show up. There you go. There you go. Hell of a weapon to have at your disposal when you're fighting ice zombies. Jon Snow on a dragon? Yeah. Take him out. Take him out, Danny.
Jon!
Is he gonna take a dragon out? Oh god. Are you kidding me? Man. Oh. One of her babies.
Go! Go now! Leave! No! No!
These would be like the best sequences in any fantasy movie. And you get one a week. Where's John? How are you not dying of frost? Your pillow is a glacier. Oh, Lord. Oh, his uncle! Uncle Benjamin.
Uncle Benjamin. Oh.
You're right for the pass.
Come with me. There's no time. Go!
Another last-minute save in Throne scripting. I'll allow it. Numerous times characters should be dead, and they get dramatically rescued. It's fine. It's television.
We'll meet again, Clegane.
Fucking hope not.
It's time to go, Your Grace.
A bit longer.
Now you see it, Danny. Now you understand. The bid for the throne is not quite as important.
Not what you're looking for.
What are these?
My faces.
Where did you get them?
In Bravos, while I was training to be a faceless man.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
We both wanted to be other people when we were younger. Neither of us got to be that other person, did we? The world doesn't just let girls decide what they're going to be. But I can now. With the faces, I can choose. I could even become you. I wonder what it would feel like to be the Lady of Winterfell. All I'd need to find out is your face.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I wish I could take it back. I wish we'd never gone.
I don't. If we hadn't gone, I wouldn't have seen.
Yeah. Seeing is believing.
You have to see it to know. Now I know. The dragons are my children. They're the only children I'll ever have. Do you understand? We are going to destroy the Night King and his army.
Here we go.
We'll do it together.
Thank you, Danny.
Danny.
He was the last person who called me that. I'm not sure, was it my brother? Not the company you want to keep.
All right, not Danny. How about my queen?
Wow. Bend the knee, Jon Snow.
I'd, bend the knee, but
What about those who swore allegiance to you?
they'll all come to see you for what you are.
Look at you two.
I hope I deserve it.
You do.
They gonna end up in King's Landing by the end of this? Just setting up a season-ending confrontation in King's Landing? No! Shut up! No way! No way! Come on! Yes. Alright, Thrones. Beyond the Wall spends most of its time beyond the wall, which is exactly where it should be. And it's a lot of character development, as characters who have never spent time before share their stories and discuss why they made certain decisions over the course of the show and what they should continue to learn from each other. Tormund is actually one of the ones who encourages Jon to bend the knee because he recognizes how important Dany's allegiance would be to fighting the Night King. You know, over in the Fast and Furious franchise, we're going to get Hobbs and Shaw, but I need the Hound and Tormund to get their own spin-off series because their alpha male nonsense is just on point. The way that it's written, the way that it's delivered, those two are hysterical. Now, initially, I kind of took a note and I said, if this is the quote-unquote episode 9 of the last season, it's moving pretty slowly. Whereas previous episode 9s have delivered, you know, major stuff, and this one has been confined. But I mean, most of them have been confined, whether it's the Battle at the Wall, or Blackwater, or the Battle of the Bastards. But we spent a lot of time with the guys sort of marching through the area north of the Wall, and trying to find a dead soldier that they can bring back as proof to Cersei. They fend off a bear attack. They kill the leader of that particular sect, of that troop, and realize that if they eliminate one, a lot of them drop, which I think is a key clue that if they can actually mount an attack just on the Night King, since he's the one who's turned them all, including a dragon at the very end, that might be the way to go. Now, we spent, even when we diverted away from Jon Snow's party in the north, we didn't go much further south than Winterfell, and we got Arya realizing that the note that she discovered sells Sansa out for the most part, and that she partially blames Sansa for Ned's betrayal, right? That Sansa was playing the game with the Lannisters at that point, by force for the most part, but also, if I remember correctly, by some choice. She kind of sided with the Lannisters at a time when she probably shouldn't have. Sansa does have a legitimate fear of losing the support of the northern armies at a time when they're really, really going to need them. So it sets up that, you know, Jon and his party get stranded, that Dany has to come to the rescue. We get to see the dragons in full effect against the Night King's armies, and this is the Battle of Fire and Ice, right? This is what the show has been setting up. And so Dany's super effective, and it was funny that Qyburn, his weapon against the dragons was a massive spear, and it worked but didn't with Bronn at the helm. But the Night King throws one spear and takes out Dany's dragon, which was devastating. And it's sad when Dany talks about losing her kid. Like, that's her child. And she says, I'm never going to have children. Tyrion choosing at that point to talk about succession. Why that's relevant now. There's still so much to worry about. Why are you worried about who's going to succeed her should she ever take on the throne? And you put a conversation like that into the narrative if you're going to give Dany a child somehow. Because she keeps saying, the dragons are my only child. I can't have kids. And dialogue like that, when it's included in a screenplay, is meant to tease out the fact that Tyrion's worried about succession if Dany takes over the throne. Dany says she can't have any children, but I bet you something happens that she ends up having a child. Possibly with Jon Snow. The way that their hands were held and the way Dany's thumb sort of just rubbed on his hand, and the way she ran off right to his rescue. Night King kills a dragon. Jon gets left behind. He gets rescued by Uncle Benjen. One of those convenient rescues that Game of Thrones every once in a while does. Dany commits to the war to fight the Night King. The Night King puts a zombie dragon on his side. And it's funny because, like, we've seen with the Lannisters when they tried to take on the dragons, she only needed the one to send a message. And she has two, still formidable, but now the Night King has one also. And so he's got an army of undead. And the army of the dead... I keep calling the undead. The army of the dead, they move like a ocean wave. Like when I was a kid, I used to play a game where I would go into the ocean and I would punch waves as they were coming toward me. And I just loved the act of consistently punching through waves, diving, punching, pretending I was a bit of a superhero, and just fending off wave after wave attacking the beach, right? And that's exactly what it looks like the humans are doing when they're fighting the dead, the army of the dead. They just keep coming in waves. It's just like an ocean, and they just keep coming and they just keep coming. And even when you have a dragon, you can burn as many as you want, but the Night King has the ability to potentially throw a spear right through your biggest weapon. So really good episode, super exciting. You know, the army of the dead seems to be getting closer. John has a plan in place, and it looks like the boat that they're on at the last minute with Danny is heading toward King's Landing. So we'll see if that gets resolved in the last episode of season 7. So make sure you go down and hit subscribe, turn on your notifications, and we will wrap up this marathon with our final episode of season 7 starting very, very soon here on CinemaBlend's YouTube page.